Herzlich willkommen bei Kryptowelt. Kryptowissen leicht verständlich. Ja, heute mit einem Sondersendung. Wir haben 29.04.20:17 Uhr. Wir haben heute ein Interview mit dem Co-Founder Brad. Ich freue mich sehr, dass er dann live ist. Sie werden nachher gleich zuschalten. Wir warten jetzt einen kurzen Moment. Meldet euch gerade, woher ihr kommt und wer ihr seid. Mal schauen, ob schon jemand im Chat ist. Sagt doch mal kurz Hallo. Hans ist da, freut mich. Hans-Urs Schmidt, ja, herzlich willkommen. Only Bitcar ist auch da. Steppy, sehr cool. Ich denke, jetzt warten wir ein paar Sekunden, weil die meisten bekommen jetzt erst die Benachrichtigung, dass es losgeht. Ja, um was geht es eigentlich? Ich werde das kurz deutsch vorstellen. Ich habe das schon mal gesagt, dass es um das Unstoppable Domain geht. Es geht um zwei Sachen. Das erste ist, das wird er nachher auf Englisch selber erklären, aber wir haben es schon mal kurz angeschaut, eine andere Sendung, dass es Domainnamen geben auf der Blockchain, die man nicht mehr löschen kann oder einfach nicht mehr sagen kann, so, es ist nicht zentralisiert, sondern dezentralisiert. Und das zweite ist, dass du einen Namen hast, wo du auch Kryptowährungen darauf bezahlen kannst. Ja, Michael, Tobias, hallo, sehr cool. Ja, schalte ich mal rüber. Hello, hi. Nice.
Hello.
Welcome to my show. I have just make a short introduction in German for my German community, but the most of people are speaking English as well. Yeah, my English is not so well, but I hope we can handle it. Thank you that that you have time for me, and we just have an interview about your project Unstoppable Domain. But first of all, give us a little introduction about yourself and where are you now and what you're doing.
Sure. Thank you for having me. I am based in San Francisco. My background, I'm an entrepreneur. I've been starting companies since I was in college. My co-founder of all of those companies is Matt Gould, who is the CEO at Unstoppable. I spent the past 6 years working on a marketing software company called Talkable in San Francisco, and recently stepped away from day-to-day of that company to focus full-time on crypto, and started working on Unstoppable Domains a few months after that, and here we are today.
Okay. When was you the first contact with cryptocurrencies and blockchain? When was the first time?
The first time, I think, really, I'd heard about it and read some articles, but I think really it was probably around December of 2012.
Wow.
When I moved to San Francisco, I moved into this building that was basically just Bitcoin hackers. And the second Bitcoin exchange in the United States, TradeHill, was founded in that building. So basically everybody I met when I moved to San Francisco was a pretty early Bitcoin person, and I just thought it was the coolest thing I'd ever seen, and I kind of just couldn't stop thinking about it.
Okay. So you are quite an early adopter in Bitcoin, and yeah, well done so far. So you have done this project Unstoppable Domains, and I have spoken already once in my live show at lunchtime, and most of people knows about your project, but nevertheless, can you present your project a little bit for my community?
For sure. So we are building domains on blockchains, and the key idea is to solve two problems. The first is to replace your cryptocurrency addresses with human readable names. So rather than having this long 40-character Ethereum address or this Bitcoin address that I need to copy and paste and email to you in order to pay, I can just tell you my blockchain domain is brad.whatever. You can go into a wallet, type that in, and then pay me. So now there's two things you don't need to know anymore. You don't need to know what my addresses are, and you don't even need to know which cryptocurrency I want to receive. I can just select from a list that your domain already has pre-configured, and then I can just pay you.
Okay.
So this is just making cryptocurrency payments really simple and really easy to use. The second one is that blockchain domains can also be used to build uncensorable websites. And the way that this would work is you are going to store and host your website on decentralized storage, like IPFS, and you will store your blockchain domain in your wallet, just like you would a cryptocurrency. And because of those two things, you are the only person that can take your website down. And if this was a regular website on .com or something like that, then you would have your web content on, say, Amazon Web Services or somewhere else. And if there was a takedown request, or somebody didn't like what you were doing with that website, or you went against the laws of some dictatorship around the world, Amazon might pull you down. Mm-hmm. The same would be true from GoDaddy or Google Domains or someone else who holds your domain. If they don't like what you're doing with it, they can take it. Okay.
Yeah, that's very interesting, yeah. But
so we're going to make.
You have told us that about the decentralization, but that's only for the domains. What about the website itself? It's already a network there for ePFS?
There is already enough hosts to be able, enough host nodes to be able to put up very simple websites. Okay. So put up things like, you can put up things like your blog. You can probably put up some pictures. If you tried to launch a Netflix, video streaming or something like that, it would not work. So basically, the way that we tell people about this, so they can think about it, is like, imagine that you're back in the 1996 internet. Mm-hmm. Imagine that you're using GeoCities. For those of you who are like me, we're building websites 20 years ago a little bit. For those of us who are a little older, so that's that's kind of where we're at with this technology. It's not going to immediately replace the current internet, but what it will do is it'll provide a completely new set of features that the current internet does not have, which is payments and websites that only you can take down.
So that means that's like decentralization, like 96, with very simple homepages, but nobody can censor it, also take it down in this place. That's the big advantage.
That's the big advantage. And I think that advantage is bigger than people realize, because there are so many points in time in our journey trying to use the internet where some company or some other rules are telling us what we can and can't do, even at the start. And some of those rules are there to protect us from bad actors, but a lot of those rules also prevent us from doing all kinds of things that we would want to do ourselves. Mm-hmm. Like, for example, there are a lot of people in this world who do not have access to a free internet, and we would want them to have access. We would want them to be able to post articles and post content that's getting censored in other places. Mm-hmm. But the tools we have, like the GoDaddies and like Amazon Web Services, don't provide this.
Okay. So you try to give the opportunities to other people. They can blog or text a simple homepage, whatever they want, and then it's for everybody of the world, if it's possible to make it.
And I think those things will get better. Like, it's like fundamentally open source like this. It's just these types of systems just over the long term tend to be the best, because everyone's going to work on them together, because anyone can work on them, because the tools will be so widely available and distributed. I think ultimately a free and decentralized internet is what will win. Yeah. But it's going to be a long process for building out all the tools to do it. So we're trying to start with the things that we know people will be able to get value from very early. Okay. And that is your cryptocurrency payments. Like, we know that there's 20 to 30 million crypto users around the world that are having to deal with these addresses. We know that is not the way that people are going to interact with blockchains in the future. So that seems very clear. Another one that seems very clear is very simple websites. Sorry,
yeah, so the payment I'm interested in, you told that just you have to put the domain, and then it doesn't matter which currency you want to pay. But I guess there have to be a standard for the other wallets. They have to integrate it, right?
Exactly. So we are making a simple API and a simple library for wallets to use to be able to resolve blockchain domains. So
So have you already wallets that are agreed to integrate your API?
Yes, we have several that are integrating currently, and a few. Hopefully, we'll have some announcements that we'll be able to make publicly very soon on this.
Okay, cool. And by the way, the technical stuff, which blockchain are you using? That's the most common question. Which blockchain are you using? Oh.
So we are building this on the Zilliqa blockchain. But the thing that I would point out is that the blockchain that it's on is kind of like a developer consideration. It's not the type of thing that your users are actually going to wind up caring about, because you're going to attach your Bitcoin address and your Ethereum address and all of your other cryptocurrency addresses to whatever blockchain domain you have. Mm-hmm. So there's going to be a time in the future where you might have a blockchain domain on more than one blockchain, and you won't even know the difference between them.
Okay. Sounds great. So I've seen you have more or less 3 types of domains at the moment: general, open for everybody, and then the premium domain and the domains in auction at the end of May. That's more or less correct, right?
Yeah, so the way that this whole thing works, and again, I mentioned this maybe before, but we are trying to model our domain extension launch process off of the way that it's done in the traditional DNS world when you launch domain extensions. So there's basically a pre-order phase where people have the opportunity early on to go and claim regular domains. That's $10 a piece. We also have a public auction where the top, say, 10,000 or so domains will be reserved for a public eBay style auction. It's actually going to be an on-chain auction. So you will be able to see, anyone in the world will be able to watch, and anybody in the world will be able to participate.
Okay.
The way that it'll work is a domain will start at $10, and then there will be people will need to bid X percentage above the previous bid, and then however long it takes to resolve the auction is when it's over. But we expect the whole thing to go for about 6 to 12 weeks. So that's the key idea: a pre-order phase and an auction phase for top domains. But another thing that we've done here is we've taken some of those top auction domains and made them available now at the pre-order phase to early members of the community. So that's the idea there. They would otherwise go to auction and get bid to whatever they got bid at, but we've made them available, a small number available now.
Okay. There is a question in the chat: how much domains are already registered?
How many domains are
domains, yeah.
It's in the thousands, but I don't have the exact number off the top of my head, unfortunately.
Okay. So already quite a lot. So are you surprised about this number, or is it as the expectation, or?
We were a little surprised by the response, actually. So we made our first public announcement on March 13th, along with on Twitter and in a couple of other places. Pretty soon after that, things got a little crazy. So we've actually just doubled our team, almost tripled our team, and we're going to be adding more folks and more resources to kind of help keep up with the growth.
There's another question similar. Do you expect high value at your auctions?
It's a little hard to predict what's going to happen. I mean, the only information that we have around this would be from prior domain extension releases, or maybe from .eth, which launched 2 years ago. And so those are really the only examples we have. Okay. I mean, we have examples of some .eth domains that sold for a few $100,000s in the auction. But we don't really know. I mean, we hope that people will be excited. I mean, our main goal here actually is to get domains in the largest number of people's hands as possible, because we think that's the thing that's going to make the domain extension valuable. So the auction to us is a little bit more a way to get people interested, in a way to get people following, in a way to get awareness, along with the pre-order phase, along with other things that we're doing. All of these things are really around getting people aware. So that's our goal.
Okay. And what about the auction itself? What date is it, and are there some conditions for taking part?
It will be early June. There are no specific conditions. No.
Okay. And if someone is interested, I guess he will get an email quite early and all information in it. What I have to do, or
Yeah, we'll be marketing it as well. So we'll be making everyone aware. And there's also a watch list inside of the app where you can follow certain domains. And if you do that, then you'll also get special notifications around those and be able to see kind of what's happening as it's happening.
so we can make an example. Kryptowelt, that's my own, and it shows it's taken because I have that's my, and I could change now the wallets.
Yeah, so I would so if you typed in like maybe like Bitcoin or something.
No,
like that.
Bitcoin, genau. Available at the auction, yes. And now I can add the Bitcoin to the watch list. And then the V with is this domain on my watch list.
Yeah, and there isn't we haven't actually started the notifications and stuff around that yet, but if you go ahead and add things to your watch list, then you'll start getting those notifications as they come, and we'll be adding more information around this as we approach the auction.
Okay, and here are the premium domains. The most are taken, but like block height, there's $250, and I could. It's only pre-register, or okay.
Yeah, pre-register.
That means it's also an auction afterwards, or
if it doesn't get taken now, then it would go to auction.
okay.
But technically speaking, everything that doesn't get taken now goes to auction. Meaning that everything will start at $10, and some of those domains, even the domains that are listed now at $10, could get bid up. It's really just a function of demand.
There's another question in the chat. What happens with the money you earn via fiat or cryptos?
So I don't understand the question.
What happened with the money you earn, fiat and cryptos?
Oh, are they asking something about?
I guess.
What do we?
Yeah, what you're doing with your profit. So I guess you have a plan for it, or?
Yeah, I mean, we have partners who we split with, but we also we reinvest money into our business. The biggest thing that we are doing is building user tools, because the problem is not actually launching the domain extension itself. That's sort of a small part of it. The bigger parts of it are the things that are happening inside of unstoppabledomains.com, allowing you to manage your domain, allowing you to add your crypto addresses, allowing you to add social verifications to prove who you are if you wanted to, and also allowing you to build your websites. So all of that stuff, plus making it all work inside of apps, that's where we're investing most of our resources, because that's the kind of big hard problem. Is making the domain extension work, plus the app that allows you to go and do things with your domain, plus the wallets and the browsers that allows you to go and use the domain itself when you pay people and when you use for websites. So it's kind of all three.
And for the browser, I guess at the moment you have a plugin, I guess, or?
Yeah, it'll start with Chrome extensions, and especially because a lot of wallets themselves are Chrome extensions. So that is actually a simpler thing for crypto users than it would even be for regular folks, because you'll already be using extensions anyway, and those will allow you to access websites. Whether or not there's going to be, we're also working on direct integrations with kind of more crypto-oriented browsers, but in the short term, extensions will be the main strategy.
Okay, and I guess after the launch, if you're changing wallets or changing domains, then you need all the time the private key because it's on the blockchain, right?
Yeah, if you want to write new addresses to your domain, you would need the private key, and if you want to transfer it, you would need the private key.
Because until now, because it's not yet on the blockchain, it's just the login, it's just on the server, but afterwards it's like a normal, like a Bitcoin, have your own key, then you can do what you want, but that's the most important thing, that you are the owner of the information.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That is the most critical thing to the security model. And the reason why this is so important is because we as a business cannot take away your domain, cannot take down your website. And that's critical from a security perspective, that it's actually technically impossible for us to do that. And so we're building tools that allow you to manage your keys yourself, very similar to kind of the stuff that you would probably already be using on like, blockchain.com or other types of self-code mobile app that'll store your private keys, that sort of thing.
Okay. And then there's another point quite important. What about all the trademarks? Because people are asking sometimes, can I buy a trademark domain? Yes or not? And what's going on?
So yes, you can. The way that it works is, let me start with our goal. Our goal is for trademark holders to have their domains. We think that's better if trademark holders have their domains and embrace this new domain extension and use them. So that's our goal. What we've been doing is we have been following a process that is used in the traditional domain world, where we announce to trademark holders, here's our new extension. Please come and prove to us that you hold the trademark. And if you do, we'll sell you the domain. And if somebody else has already bought it in the pre-order phase, we will refund them and sell you the domain.
Okay.
Once it is live on the blockchain, we can no longer do any of that stuff. So from our perspective, the transaction is over. Now, if you were to use a domain like Coca-Cola or something like that, and you were to use it in such a way to try to trick people into thinking that you are Coca-Cola, or to do something else related to Coca-Cola, then that would be a trademark violation, and they might sue or try to take some other action to try to get that website blocked or censored by applications or whatever. So the courts could still take all of those actions just like they would now. The difference is that they won't know who you are and they won't be able to force a third-party company to take down your website. So right now, that court order would go to GoDaddy and would say, GoDaddy, take down this domain. That cannot come to Unstoppable Domains because we don't have the power. So you still need to compel the individual to take down the website themselves.
Okay, but in general, in legal, that's for me interesting. Is it not a problem that you are building a system that's not stoppable anymore? Let's say, I don't know, somebody wants to make something really bad on this domain, on this website, and you are the builder, and I don't know, USA is coming to you and that's not right, you have to stop this, and you can't anymore. What's the topic? I'm not sure about this. In the United States, there are free speech protections that enable you to build technologies and not be at fault for the very small percentage of people that then go and use it for a bad purpose. Like, for example, if I were to sell 1,000 people a car and one person were to go use that car to go hurt someone. So that would not make the car maker liable for that person. Now, there's a lot of other things in that, and I think something that's very important to us as a business. We are an American company. We are going to abide by the laws of our country and any other country that we need to and that we should. So that is not what will wind up happening here is there's going to be censorship or warnings or blacklists or other types of things at the second layer, meaning that browsers and wallets and others will identify addresses that are bad actors, and they won't show them to you. We'll do that too, because we don't want to show you bad content. We don't want to show you illegal content. We don't want those people that are doing bad things. We don't want to facilitate them. We don't want to help them. Now, will somebody be able to interact directly with the contract on the blockchain and buy a domain and then do whatever they want with it? Yes. That is also true. Will people be able to go and use their own browsers and do whatever they want? Yes. You will choose your browser will choose your internet, is basically how we're thinking that it's going to wind up evolving. But you still have the power to choose your browser. Okay, I see. That's very interesting. And there's another question. How many people are working in your company?
We're 10 now,
Okay.
but we are looking for more. So please, please reach out.
So if there are somebody's interested, and I guess there are information on your homepage, they can contact you and ask if there are possibilities. To what kind of people are you looking for at the moment?
We're looking for community managers mostly.
Mm-hmm.
That's the biggest category.
Okay. So if somebody is interested, go for it. Why not? So I guess we have the most of we have discussed about, and if the people are interested, somebody has written, I have just bought moonbow.sil. So somebody has already taken a domain. That's great. And if somebody is interested to take this domain, this possibility, I share once again. Oh, that's the wrong. Sorry, wrong. Yeah. So you can go with this domain. That's an affiliate link, and yeah, I will get something, but it's up to you. It's not necessary to use this link, but so you can support my channel a little bit. So I want to thank you for your time. Have you something to say at the end for my community?
Just thanks a lot for listening, and please please come check us out. Go and search around for some domains, see how it works, see what it's going to look like adding your addresses to a domain like this. You can already do it inside of the app. It's not live yet, but you can at least see what it's going to look like.
Okay, so you have already an app as well, I guess, on iOS, on Android, both.
Let's see. I'm not sure if it's actually live yet. It will be live very soon. It's actually just when I said app, I'm sorry, I actually meant unstoppabledomains.com.
Yeah.
The app is just going to be a backup for your keys, so you're not even going to really care to download it.
Okay. Okay. So great. So thank you very much. It was a pleasure to have this interview with you, and yeah, maybe talk to you soon to another time.
Likewise. Thanks so much.
Bye bye.